Owen Bennett made just $3,000 a month. His neighbor made $30,000. Yet everyone in their apartment building assumed Owen was the millionaire. The reason had nothing to do with his paycheck. Owen wasn't trying to get rich. He had one simple goal: reach a point where losing his job wouldn't destroy his life. That goal came from watching his parents argue over unpaid bills at their kitchen table when he was a kid. He never forgot that fear on their faces. So at 22, when he started his first real job as a warehouse supervisor, he made himself a quiet promise he would build a life money couldn't shake. From the outside, nothing about Owen looked impressive. Same small apartment for years. Same old car. Same packed lunch every single day. His coworkers spent their weekends chasing the next upgrade, new phones, new shoes, new debt they didn't talk about. "You never buy anything," his coworker Tyler said one day, laughing. "You holding out on us?" Owen just shrugged. "I'm not in a hurry." That line became the quiet rule behind everything he did. At 22, Owen earned $3,000 a month and had $400 saved, barely enough to cover an emergency. But instead of upgrading his lifestyle as his paycheck grew, he upgraded his safety net. Keeping the old car meant no car payment, which freed up almost $300 a month. That money went straight into savings. Packing his own lunch saved him another $200 a month, money he invested instead of spent. By 25, his income had grown slightly to $3,300 a month, but his savings had grown far more, $15,000, sitting steady in a low-cost index fund he'd researched for months before ever touching it. Then came his first real test. The warehouse cut overtime hours company-wide. Panic spread through the break room. Coworkers living paycheck to paycheck suddenly scrambled to cover rent. Owen barely felt it. His expenses were so far below his income that the cut barely touched him. That was the moment it clicked for him. Financial freedom wasn't about how much you earned. It was about the gap you built between what you earned and what you needed. By 27, his income had crept up to $3,600 a month. His investments had crossed $35,000. Still no debt. Still the same quiet discipline. Then came the turning point. A small family-run repair shop near his apartment was struggling to survive. The owner, a man named Walter, had once fixed Owen's car for barely more than the parts cost, back when Owen couldn't afford much. When Owen heard the shop might close, he didn't offer money he didn't have much to spare. He offered his time. Weekends, he sat with Walter going through the books. He found nearly $400 a month in wasted subscriptions and unused inventory. He built a simple online booking system that cut missed appointments nearly in half. Within 8 months, the shop's revenue had climbed almost 30%. Walter noticed. "You didn't just save my shop," he told Owen one evening. "You gave me a system that's worth more than cash." He offered Owen a small ownership stake, not as charity, but as payment for real results. Owen accepted. It wasn't a windfall. It was earned. By 30, Owen's monthly income was still modest, just over $4,000. But his net worth told a different story. No debt, over $150,000 in investments, and a small stake in a business that was finally thriving. People started asking for his advice. Not because he flaunted anything, but because he never seemed stressed, never panicked, never chased trends. "How do you make it look so easy?" Tyler asked one afternoon. Owen thought for a moment, and his mind drifted back to that old kitchen table, his parents' voices, the fear in the room. He hadn't built this life to prove them wrong. He built it so their fear of money would never become his own fear. "I stopped trying to look rich," he finally said. "I started trying to be free." Owen Bennett never became a millionaire overnight. No lottery, no lucky stock, no shortcuts. What he built was slower, quieter, and far more lasting, a life where his money finally worked for him. And maybe that's the real success story. Not the size of the paycheck, but the freedom that comes from mastering it. This story is a work of fiction created for illustrative purposes only, and is not financial advice.